So why do we compare? What use is there in wondering why you're not like your neighbour? When will you stop being your biggest hater? You are you and you're the only one. You can learn from others, but really it's no fun if you want to be them and have the things they've got. That ruins the story and thins the plot. Of life, of love, both gifts from above. Don't diminish your light just so you can take flight, because your friend might be a flyer, but maybe you're a runner. They may be, might be, could have more, but you'll never harness your power until you stop looking through their door and start opening yours. I do wonder why we compare ourselves. Because I do it all the time, but really doesn't make sense because, well, like if we're all comparing ourselves with each other, then none of us, that we don't spend enough time focusing on ourselves and like working on actually being better versions of ourselves. That's a bit of a cliche, but like rather than thinking about how we can be, like I said, better versions of ourselves, we look at other people and try and be like them, but it can't work because imagine everyone is a colour. Like, imagine I'm red, you're blue, your friend is green, someone else is yellow, someone else is blue. Like, if we all wanted to be another one, like if I'm red and I want to be blue, like I'm not going to fully embrace my redness. Like, I'm not going to fully appreciate my redness if I'm spending so much time thinking about why I'm not blue. Like if I'm so upset that, oh, you know what, they're blue. Look how many people like the colour blue. Like, look how many uses there are for the colour blue. Like, the sky is blue, the sea looks blue. What? Yeah, it looks blue. It's not really blue, but yeah. You know, like, why can't I be blue? Like, I feel like that's what we spend a lot of time doing, rather than thinking about the fact that, okay, I'm red, but I am just as much of a colour as the colour blue. Yes, some people like blue, but some people also like red. And just because the sky isn't red, well, most of the time it's not, doesn't mean that there's no use for the colour red. There are other uses for it. But we spend so much time, I feel that we do anyway, looking at other people and wondering why, like, oh, why aren't I as smart as them? Or why don't I have what they have? Or how come I can't do what they can do? When, like, how boring would it be if we were all the same? Like, I feel like that's a kind of a cliche thing to say as well. But really and truly, it would be boring if we were all the same. And it's like we're all different pieces of one big puzzle called humanity. And like everyone has their position. And if like a corner piece wants to be the centerpiece, like it doesn't work. That's not where they go. But if they fully occupy their place, like the place that is the right shape for them, that fits them, then together it makes a wonderful picture. But you know, that's a very simplistic view of like how humanity could be ideally. But I just think that we don't spend enough time appreciating ourselves and also acknowledging our flaws. Like, I don't think that you should, like, if you see someone else doing something better than you can learn from them. But I think it's also important to appreciate like where you're coming from, like have self-awareness and understand yourself and know like why you are the way you are. And then mitigate for it. But I feel like sometimes we do it the wrong way around. Like, we see other people and we try and be like them without ever understanding ourselves, without ever understanding or as much as understanding more fully why we are the way we are, or like where we are coming from. Does that make sense? I don't even know if that makes sense. But I don't know. I just feel like we compare too much. And not just physically, but maybe even emotionally, just the way, like, we look at how other people are living their lives and we think that we should be like them. And I think it's more about understanding the principles behind what people do and then applying it to you, rather than trying to be exactly like them and doing exactly what they do. Like, it might help to do what they do, but not always. I feel like more often than not, it's more about principles and parallels, but that's something else.